Hello there, I'm obscuresausage, and this is for the Pyro Mafia upload, and since I'm doing indie games, I'll be taking Project Zomboid today, which is made by the Indie Stone. Couldn't get more indie than a developer company with the name indie in it. And they've made this survival sandbox zombie game that's in isometric view called Project Zomboid. And it is, at the moment, it's in alpha, and this is build RC2. And it's got some interesting features in it as well. And they've only got sandbox mode in this part at the moment. In previous builds they had stories and everything, but at the moment, with their latest build, they've taken some of the stuff out to upgrade it and put it back into the RC3. That'll be coming soon. So let's get to work. Let's go into sandbox mode. And here's one of the interesting features already. You can load the previous saved world that you was playing on. So that means everything is how you left it when you previously died on one of your characters. So for this sake, actually, for this video, I'll click no. So that will wipe any of the other characters that I've made before for everything on that map. So then you get this nice character creation screen, and you have to select a profession for them first. So you've got things like police officer. That makes them handy with like weapons and stuff like that. Fire officer is like handy with an axe. Security guard is good for staying up late. Construction worker, you get like thick-skinned, so you're less vulnerable to being bitten. And scratches, you're handy, so you're fast barricading. And then you've got your park ranger who's an outdoorsman, so you're not affected by the harsh weather conditions and the extra orienteering ability you get. I usually go for the fire officer because it's like, you know, you're less inclined to find a pistol than you are to find an axe, so I'll do that. And then you have the trait system here, which works really well. You have to give yourself negative traits in order to get yourself some positive traits. So it's very, very balanced gameplay. So I usually choose like you'll just choose what you feel is right. So I'll choose like short-tempered. I'll having brooding as well, a bit prone to illness, because at the moment illness isn't such a big thing in this at the moment. You know, when you get infected, it just happens a lot quicker. I'll make him a light drinker, and I think I'll just have that. I think that's what I'll have. And then so I've got 12 now points to spend on positive things. All the ones that are red though would conflict with my negative traits, so I can't choose them anymore. So so you can't choose them. There's only 3 of them that have been taken down. I wouldn't use any of them anyway. So the one thing that I will have with this is I'll have brave, because that stops them from getting really scared. I'll have him quite strong, so it's easier for attack, and then I think the only other one I can set him is a light eater, so that'll be good. You can set his forename, surname. At the moment we don't have a preview for them, but you can choose a face and a skin tone and everything, and then you just click start, and then you just give it a minute and it will load into your game for you. So you just give it a minute and it will load up the world, and you'll be dropped in. And it's very open world. They are working on a few new features. Well, actually not a few, quite a lot of new features for the RC3 build. And it's like things, they'll be improving the barricading system. They'll be putting fire back into the game. You can quite literally, like, this game is so open and sandbox, like you can burn down whole buildings. And stuff like that, and it's one of the best isometric games I've played, and definitely one of the best zombie games I've played for quite a long time, zombie survival. And so here we are. You'll start off in a random location, so you'll start wherever you start off. It's just completely random, so it'll be a house, it'll be, you know, garage, shop, something. You can, like, literally you can barricade windows, you can pull the curtains across and stuff like that. But the game is, it's playable, but you can still tell it's in alpha right now. You'll get random glitching happening and stuff like that. Like, for example, I can't open this door right now, so I'm probably gonna have to jump out the window. There we go. So oh my goodness. So there are a ton of zombies in this game, tons of zombies. You get your little moodles up here as well. Seems like none of the doors are working, so that's really good. So we'll work on that. You get your moodles up here. You can do the whole Sims type fast forward time and stuff, and you can't do it when you're running or moving or anything. That's just to literally just to speed up time. This is brilliant. Nothing's working. You can shout to attract zombies and stuff like that. None of the doors are working. This has never happened before. You can shout to attract zombies, and you can also do it to attract survivors, like this guy here, for example. And then you can walk up to him, and you can left or right click onto him. But for some reason, my clicking isn't working very properly on this game at the moment, so I'll just have to go with it. But it is an alpha at the moment, so there are quite a lot of bugs wrong with it. But essentially the whole object of the game is to survive. You've got your little inventory up here, you've got your health system around here, so you can tell where you've been bit, and then you can bandage it up and everything. At the moment it seems I have minor injuries, so there's some first aid required, so I'll need to get some bandages. And then you've got your pain meter here, that just, it just gives you all the debuffs that you have been issued with what you've recently done and everything. So you've also got down here, you've got these 3 buttons, and this is how your character will react to other NPCs around. So at the moment he's quite neutral. He'll act neutrally towards them. You can have him act positive or negative to them as well. But one of the best things about this is it's not just based on finding food and keeping yourself well fed and everything. It's also quite heavily based on depression. Like you can get very depressed in this. You can get depressed in this game if you don't sustain contact with anything and stuff like that. It's going to be really hard to survive in here if I can't find any weapons or food or anything. But you've also got the element of depression setting in, getting ill, angry. It's more based on looking after your player completely, because there are no, you can save, but once your character's dead, he's dead. You don't because you essentially write your own story, and you kind of go around surviving, but you also write your own story into the game. So that's why there's also a story mode into it, but you can play someone else's story mode. Then there's also the blank canvas story mode, where you can write your own story into the game, and that's really interesting. And it's kind of the same as what sandbox mode is, but essentially it's more of your own story mode. Got a little mouse bug there as well. But this game has a lot of potential. I do believe they're going to add multiplayer as well to it, so that'll be, a huge map like this and all of your friends playing on it at the same time and stuff like that. I do believe they'll be adding new maps as well into the game, which is really good. So you have a variety of different maps to play on. I think they're already working on another map. This is Knox County that it's based on, and I think the other map that they're working on right now is Moldera. And it's quite big. They're also working on a new RAM system as well, because this game requires, it's like Minecraft, it runs quite heavily on RAM, so because of the map loading and everything, so they're adding a system where you've got a radius of where the map loads and stuff like that. So this game does have a really big potential to it. So yeah, I would highly suggest getting this game. It's quite cheap. It's like £5. And it's definitely worth it. I mean, I've played it for quite a long time. I've had it for at least since the last build, which was essentially the first build. I got in halfway through the last build, which was good. Since the last build, there has been a major graphics update. The last build looked nothing like this. It was much more pixel based, and it wasn't like the graphics weren't as smooth as this, nor were the animations. But but this is an alpha build at the moment, so they're working on perfecting this build and then putting out an alpha build of their next build after this one, which is the RC3. So they're perfecting RC2 and then they're going to release RC3 as well along with it. And that's pretty much it about this game. It's definitely worth buying because there is a massive potential for this game. So, you know, who knows what else they could put into this game, what else they will put into this game. I mean, I've messaged them a couple of times about some features that I'd like to see, and they did come up and say that they were thinking of putting a type of suicide into the game if you've been run over or something, like run over with zombies and everything, and you know there's just no way out, you can commit suicide. Spoke to them about oh, look at that, you can also level up as well, like in Oblivion. In Oblivion you get skills like one-handed, two-handed and stuff like that. In this you get essentially the same skills, but more based around sprinting, like reload speed, strength, to, you know, better your character and making him a better survivor for this type of situation. And yeah, this game does have a pretty big potential to it of what it could essentially be like. Like, at the moment it is a really good game for an alpha build, but it could get so much better. So yeah, I've written to them a couple of times about the functions that they could be putting into the game. They did say something about they're working a bit on suicide. They might, or, you know, probably leave it up to the community to make a mod of that one, and stuff like that. And they said they're definitely working on multiplayer, but it will be in a later build, a much later build. And there are numerous ways of dying as well. Like, if you die just from falling out a window or something, you won't necessarily turn into a zombie, you'll just be dead. But if you get bitten, like I'm about to, just let a couple of them bite me. There we go. I think I may have been bitten now. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like I've been bitten around here, scratched or something like that. And then your health will slowly, slowly drop. And then when you die, it will give you how long you survived for in game, and then basically your character will either just die or he'll reanimate like a zombie. So I'm about to die. There we go. Nice death scream there. Gives you stats. You survive for 11 hours, and then, you know, they'll either just keep on eating at you, or you'll just die, or you'll get up in a minute as a zombie and start walking around like the rest of them. And I think this is a really good game. It's definitely worth buying, and there is major potential with this game. So thanks for watching. This was Project Zomboid, made by the Indie Stone. And look at that, and a lovely nice other bug there where my guy hasn't gotten up, but he just started shifting around like a zombie. All bugs aside though, this game is really, really, really good. So definitely help out by buying it now whilst they're in the alpha stages, so you get access to all the alphas and everything of this game, and then you get the full game when it's fully released. So I definitely suggest getting this game. Thanks for watching. Join me again for another indie game.